Now we are. Had a pop-up. I had to press something. So, how about anybody else? Anybody else doing the breath? I know you're doing it, Linda, in the mornings, right? Like me?
Yes, yes. And I notice a difference. And, it's so interesting. I was talking to a friend over the weekend, and she was talking about how she had had a stroke several years ago, and breath work and yoga was what really helped her recover out of the stroke.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking about breath work. So, yeah, I notice a difference in my body when I do it and when I don't.
Mhm.
How long do you guys do it for? I
Mine
don't.
varies like sometimes 40 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes. And then I set an alarm on my phone and then I do a little bit of breath work throughout the day.
40 minutes at one stretch.
Wanda, I know, like that may sound like, whoa, that's a big chunk of time. And it is, it's something to build up to. But especially with someone with anxiety, if you take that chunk of time and you really devote it to regulating your nervous system and going into your body, that will so drastically change your anxiety. It's not like, 3 minutes or 5 minutes. That's kind of like a good tool, I think anyway, in my opinion. Mitzi, you could say what you think, but I think that's a good tool. Like if you're in the moment, you just got upset about something, like let me take, a couple of minutes and calm myself down. But if you want to change and really regulate your body, like a big chunk of time that you just really connect where that's what you're doing is all the difference, in my opinion.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, I think it probably is. I
Yeah.
thought 13 minutes was a long time, but no, not compared to 40.
Well, it's not 40 every day, and I do a series of different kinds of breath work. I normally start out with the heart brain coherence, and then I'll do like a Wim Hof type breath, and then I'll do the breath that I've been teaching you, where you press down and get that energy up into your head. And then I might even do some on a ball where I kind of, lean back and open up my heart. And then when I come back down, I let the air out and then I'll just pause. And then what I do, which is really, really helpful, is I'll just lay back or recline for 10 or 15 minutes and just try to sense what's going on in my body and allow my body to kind of assimilate that oxygen and that energy. So that, I do several different things during that time, at 40 minutes, and it goes really
Oh,
fast.
okay. It's not just all the same. You're doing several different things during that period. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And I try not to be too rigid about how I do it and when I do it, and because I can get in rigidity really easily. And so I try to, just say, okay, what do I feel like I need to do today? If I've had a really stressful day the day before, I'll do more heart brain coherence. Or if I feel like I need energy, I'll do the other breath. But I just try to be led, and then I always try what I call to integrate after I've done the breath work before I go out for my walking meditation.
Okay. I just, I'm so new to all this. I just have to get into it, you know.
Yeah, I started with like 5 minutes a day, and then worked up to 10 minutes a day. And like it's go ahead.
I just, there's some sort of background. It's very staticky and like
Oh,
some
okay.
music, so it's just hard to hear the
Okay, let me
conversation.
get this off here.
Oh, better.
Yeah, I was hearing it too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was trying to play some soothing classical music, but it didn't work out very well.
It was like annoying static, like I had to work hard to hear you. So this is better, thanks.
Okay, sure. So, let's do just like a little recap. Any major points that you want to talk about from last week, Linda?
From last week. So these ladies here that are all present live, there's like 50 something people on the email list that get the recording. So this doesn't apply to everybody, but the ladies all here have worked with me and have a good sense of energy and moving energy through. And you can really do that with your musculature, right? So by doing the technique that Nutzi taught us last week, you can really have a great impact on moving your energy. I was telling my group last night, who actually nobody is here right now from that group, but to me, and I don't know if this makes sense or what you might change about this, but I kind of picture energy almost like water. Like water will go wherever it wants to go until it like hits a rock or, a dam. And then it's like, oh, okay, can't go there. I'll go this way. It always just keeps wanting to move and it goes. And then sometimes naturally occurring, there's like a whirlpool, like gets created. And energy wants to go until it gets stuck. Maybe it goes up against a dam. Maybe our muscles are really constricted and it doesn't move through, or like the equivalent of a waterfall, not a waterfall, a whirlpool, right? Like where just, it gets stuck and the water goes around. The energy can do that for various reasons. So that's what I kind of just picture in terms of energy and the breath work, is that we can use our breath, we can use our attention, we can use our hands, and we can use our muscles to help move the energy through. So the breath is giving us oxygen, and like the nitric oxide breath that Nutzi was telling us about. So all of that, and in addition, moving our energy. So it's like such an amazing tool.
It really is. And why I have been focusing on the breath of fire, the one where you contract, is because I can tell you after 3 years of doing this day after day after day, you really develop a skill to see where you have that energy or that kink in your tubing, because what'll happen is when you contract and then you let that energy go, it will go right to where there is a kink, and it will either go around it or it'll keep working on it to get it through it. So it really is powerful in giving us feedback and information of where we have some things that are stuck in our physiology. It's just been such a great educational tool. Like, okay, that's how I realized I had stuffed my whole heart center under my armpit, because I would do that breath and it would come up, get past my belly button, and then it would go right under my armpit, and it would just be like, ow. It really wasn't painful, but it was just, I could feel that I had, was in protection mode by the way that energy in my heart, literally my heart electrical center was in my armpit. So I think it's really valuable. And, we did that breath where we kind of focused on our throat. And that was another biggie for me. Because of my past traumas, I just realized that I didn't trust the sound of my own voice very much. And not only did I not trust it, but I hated the sound. I thought I sounded nasally. And, so it was really helpful moving or opening up the energy in my throat energy center. So,
yeah. And I just thought of something when I was talking with my friend who had the stroke. If you have pain in your body, sometimes the pain can be like a lactic acid, like just from a physiology perspective, the lactic acid, you're like in an anaerobic state because oxygen and blood flow isn't getting there, like pain in the hips and the legs, if you sit a lot. So there's pain from stuck emotions can cause pain in the body, which is more of an energetic thing, but and then there's the physiology of it. So just doing deep breath work rhythmically can help move the lymph, can help move that lactic acid and metabolize it out. So lactic acid is like, if you exercise really hard, that's a byproduct, right? That's why you're sore the next day, because the lactic acid is produced. Well, if you're sitting too much and you aren't moving a lot, you can also get in an anaerobic, like just lack of blood flow going through. So the breath work is great for that. And if you use your thoughts to direct it to an area of pain, even better.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point because and I've mentioned this before, but I wanted to circle back and mention it again. You know, what we're trying to do is you mentioned we're trying to move energy. You know, a lot of our energy stays stuck below our belly button because we have to digest and, you know, our liver, our kidney, our gallbladder, our colon, all those things are really working, and that's where all those body processes are contributing to our survival. That's why they call below the belly button our survival energy center. So when I do breath, I'm always moving because I want to move that energy. And so it's kind of a way for me to set my intention that I'm going to move energy. So when I breathe in, I'm coming forward. When I breathe out, I'm going backwards because I'm sending those physiological cues to my body, like we're going to move this energy. It's just kind of a little helpful thing that steers us away from thinking and steers us towards sensing, if that makes sense.
Yes, just getting us into our body rather than staying up in our head.
Because, you know, we've all had those times where we've driven home and we don't even remember how we got there. You know, like we were very good at disassociating or not grounding down into our physiology. And when we live that kind of a lifestyle, you know, we don't tune into what's going on in our body. And that's when dis-ease can happen. So what I wanted to talk about tonight, and I'm going to change the view because I'm going to show a couple of pictures. I want to talk about the HeartMath Institute. Wanda mentioned that she does the heart brain coherence breathing, but I want to talk about why this is so valuable and why it's something that you really want to tune into and use. And so the HeartMath Institute is such a beautiful organization, and they do lots of research. And Juan, I'm not sure if you heard about this study, but what they did is they took 10 people in a controlled group and they did this study over and over and over again. And they sat the 10 people down in front of a computer screen. And they had two types of pictures that flashed on the screen. One of them was like a bunny or a nature scene. And then the other one was like something like a horrible car crash or a snake getting ready to bite. And so they would set these people down in front of the computer screen, and it was controlled by a random generator, meaning the random generator would flash the pictures in a random event or a random sequence so people couldn't, you know, forecast or catch on to the pattern. So how it went is they would flash like a bunny or a nature scene, and then it would go 10 seconds blank, and then the random generator would flash another picture up there, whatever it might be, and then a 10-second pause. And so they had these people hooked up to, you know, brain EKG and ECG and heart monitors, and they were wired for sound. And so they would get the people in heart brain coherence, which just means you take your attention from your brain and you drop it down into your heart. Instead of thinking with your frontal lobe or your limbic brain, you drop down into your heart. And then they would have this random generator put these scenes up as, you know, every 10 seconds. So it would be a scene, a 10-second break, and then a scene, and then a 10-second break, and it would go on for 5 or 6 minutes. And what they found is, this is so fascinating, is that when they would get them into heart brain coherence, that they would actually within the first 4 seconds be able to predict what was coming next, not with their conscious mind, but their body and their intuition and their heart would accurately predict. So even though it was a random generator, let's say the random generator was going to generate the snake, their body within the first 4 seconds would start to react as if they were going to see that snake, or the snake was already on the screen. And so what that shows is when we are in heart brain coherence, we are actually able to have super memory, super recall, super cognition, or what I like to say, we can access information outside of our pay grade. And so our body is continually scanning the horizon for what's coming next. So you can see then, if we are in our limbic brain the whole time, if we're in fight, flight, or freeze, we will only be able to see the things that are dangerous around us. And then we begin to breathe differently. And then you do that for 50 plus years, and you can end up having panic attacks when nothing is provoking you in your life. So doing or practicing the heart brain coherence breath, then what that does is it actually gives you superpowers, or ESP, extrasensory perception, and we can tune into the things in our life that not only are beautiful, but it is also the body's ability to protect us when drama and trauma do happen, and we can avoid that. So Wanda, had you heard about that study before?
No.
Yeah, so I'll say that again. I'm sorry.
I said no. It's pretty interesting, though.
It really is super, super interesting, because what that means then, it's like Henry Ford said, whether you think you're wrong or right, you're right. So if you are only tuned in to things that are dangerous, you can only see in your life things that are dangerous. You never get to see the beautiful and the supernatural and the, what they call supercognition, or what I would call, getting messages from the divine, hooking in to that knowledge that is outside of our pay grade. And so that's why it's really important to develop that proprioception and that inner awareness of, what is happening to our heart, and if our brain has taken over. And as you begin to practice heart brain coherence, then what happens is the brain begins to surrender and allow the heart to do the thinking, because magnetically, our heart is 5,000 times stronger than our brain, which means if we're functioning in our heart, magnetically, we're pulling towards us whatever is in our heart. And then the heart is 100 times stronger than the brain. And we know that they can check our electromagnetic field by, they can do EKGs and ECGs and MRIs, because we are electrical magnetic beings. And so this really is, a way to tune into our supernatural powers. Dr. Joe has that book, Becoming Supernatural, and he talks a lot about that. But I think the HeartMath Institute has dialed it in, and they've done so many studies that even, they have brought people who pray or meditate into areas, and they get people to be heart brain coherent, and they actually will affect the crime rate. The crime rate will go down. So if the five of us got into heart brain coherence, and we began to send out, beautiful thoughts to a country or a group of people, we could actually affect or entrain their electromagnetic field. And they've done this all over the world, where when they brought people into an area, or they asked people to meditate on a war-torn area, crime goes down and deaths go down and heart attacks go down, because we really are supernatural and powerful. But we've been taught, like, don't trust your heart will lead you astray, which in reality, that is wrong. And I think a lot of times we learn not to function in our heart because we don't want to get hurt again. We don't want to feel that pain. So Linda, do you want to add anything to that?
I do. Thank you. Two things. What did I want to add? The first thing, excuse me, is what Nutsi said about like when we're focused on the danger, I can remember when I lived like that, how my day occurred, how like I would respond if there was an email, if I got an unexpected bill, like, oh my goodness, I didn't expect this, I don't have the money or whatever. Having shifted how I view my world and how I experience my world, things happen throughout the day, and it's like no different than, oh, I missed a call, like stuff that really would have me have been like right away, like upset or worried, stuff like little things that happen all the time in our days. When you're in fight or flight, that's how you see your world, and then everything. So I just notice now, like stuff happens and I don't know, it's like, okay, like whatever, like I'm trusting it's going to work out. I know that if I don't get upset, the answer will come, like all that stuff. So that's really amazing. And then the other thing, sort of what Nutsi was speaking to about affecting the crime rate. So I'm a HeartMath practitioner. These guys know I actually use a bunch of HeartMath tools in the work I've done with them in some of their videos. But a year ago, right after the Ukrainian war started, I was invited by HeartMath to participate with 500 practitioners on a Zoom call for a weekend. It was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, to work on global healing, like for all of us, 500 at the time, to use our tools to try to influence the war and the people who were making decisions. I guess really Russia, because they started the war just about a year, I guess it was like a year ago, right? Last March or maybe February. So the woman who led that was so interesting. Her name is Scylla Ellsworthy, I think, or Ellsworth. She's probably well into her 70s. She's from Britain, and she's done talks at the United Nations. She's led peace talks. She's talked with Nelson Mandela over the years. She was asked to go into the United Nations to speak about something global. And what she did, and she didn't tell them, she brought meditators with her, a group of them, and they were downstairs in the floor below, right under the room where they were meeting. And she had them meditate and send love. And as they did the peace talks and whatever was the drama that the people were arguing about, she said it went completely differently than anybody expected. And she really attributes to the meditation that was going on. So I thought that was so cool. And I think Nutsi and I have both been like, gotten emails about global healings. Dr. Joe sends them out like at this time on this date, as many people as possible meditate. And if you think about the power of the heart, and what we are all capable of, that's huge. The more people that decide to participate in that. So not only affects our own personal world, but it affects the world.
Yeah, I mean, there is such power in corporate or groups coming together, but this is something that really starts on a personal level. And, you can, or we can as individuals, affect the people around us and entrain them so they respond differently to us. And this is a great tool to use before you go to bed at night, because, when we are awake and we're being stimulated, we're in beta brain waves. And then when we learn, we get in alpha brain waves. And then right before we're going to sleep, we're getting into theta brain waves. And then when we're in REM sleep, we're in delta. So theta and delta brain waves are where we can access that creativity. And we can do that, by meditating heart brain coherence, but we do it automatically when we are sleeping. And so, we can, all of us, before we go to bed, think about things that we're grateful for, or think about things that, we would love to have in our life, and begin to focus on those things of a good report, and use those hours that you're sleeping to begin to change the things in your life. And this isn't religious or doctrine. This is hardened scientific fact that we are in theta and delta brainwaves. So why not use it for 7 or 8 or 6 hours, however long you sleep? Why not use that to affect change in your life. And so one of what I call it is when I go to bed and when I'm, getting ready to fall. Well, before I write in my journal things that I'm thankful for, but then when I get into bed and I'm recounting my day, I'll just throw love bombs on people. Like I'll throw love bombs on my son. I'll throw love bombs on my husband. If I'm, if someone is not happy with me or there's a situation that I wish I could change, I'll just throw love bombs. I'll just throw love around like I'm throwing, missiles at people, and I'll just bomb them with love because it changes me, but it also can change other people. So what we're going to do first before we do the breath where we contract and pull that energy up from our survival centers and try to get it up the top of our head, we're going to do a little bit of a heart brain coherence. And so how I like to do it is I like to just start and just put my hands on my heart. And then, just as a point of contact. And then we are going to intentionally tell our brain that we're going to drop our attention down into our heart. And then we are just going to think of something that we are grateful for or appreciative of. They found that gratefulness is the highest vibrational emotion. So just begin to think of something that you're grateful for. And we're going to breathe in and out of our heart for the same count. So whether you do 4 or 5, we're going to breathe in and out of our nose because we're going to help with that nitric oxide. But then it's not about, as I mentioned before, bringing more oxygen in. It's about getting that oxygen deeper and slowing the breath down because that sends that signal to the body. It's okay and we can relax. So let me put some music on real quick. Hopefully it won't be staticky. And then we'll get right into it. Unless anybody has any questions.
So when you breathe in through your nose and out through your nose, it's when the nitric oxide, that creates nitric oxide, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so is that better than doing in your nose and out your mouth?
I think they do different things. I think that if you're having a lot of anxiety, I think breathing in the nose and out the mouth is a good way to off gas anxiety. But for this, we're going to do nitric oxide and just concentrate on slowing our breath down and just breathing in and out of our nose. You can do either. This one is a little bit different because we're not in anxiety. Hopefully not in great anxiety. And so, does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Can you hear that okay?
Yes, it's better than it
I
was.
don't hear any music though.
How about now?
Okay. Real low.
Is that better?
That's good.
Yes,
Can you still hear me? Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and just get some lymph flowing through our bodies. Let's do our nanu hands on either side of the ear, 2 on one side and 2 on the other. And let's just warm up. Now I want you to just take 2 fingers and kind of find your glands right here. Let's just rub in a circle. Rub one way. And let's go backwards. Or opposite direction. Good. And then let's take our fingers. And then when you get to your collarbones, kind of lift up. As that lymph will drain down in your lymph nodes. Take it down. Good. All right, And in through the nose, out through the mouth. Nose, out through the mouth. Take your hands out to the side and just press your sternum up to the ceiling. Chin up, through the nose, and out the mouth. With our iris. Okay, and then just grab your elbows and lean over to the side. Really try to push up your rib cage. You guys hear static? You need to turn it off and we just do it without the music, or just turn it down?
I think turn it off because it's covers your voice more than anything, but now it's almost all static.
Okay.
Right? Is that what you guys are hearing? Static or music? Yeah, that's better.
That better? Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and put our hands on our heart. Let's roll our shoulders down. Just kind of make sure your shoulders are loose. And then plant your feet on the ground if you can. Okay? And then lift through the crown of your head. And we're going to go in and out of our nose we'll start with a count of 4. We'll synchronize our breathing and then we'll find our own rhythm. Here we go. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale.
Mitzi, I'm sorry, it's just static again. It like starts out okay and then the static just builds, right? Is that what you guys are hearing?
Static.
It's on now.
Say that again.
It goes away, but then it builds. After like 30 seconds, it just kind of comes back in and gets louder and louder. We'll see if it happens again. I'll let you know.
Okay. Okay, let's try again. In through our nose and out through our nose. In through the nose and out through the nose.
Yeah, it's back. It's total static.
Ooh. Just turn it off.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do this. Can you hear that? Okay. All right, let's try it again. All right, in through the nose, out through the nose. And out through the nose. Just find your own rhythm, whatever's comfortable. in and out of your nose. Now just take your attention and drop it down into your heart. Just feel your heart. We're sending the signal to our body that we're safe. We're giving the body much needed oxygen. Just feel your heart open. Now we're going to pull up something that we are so grateful for. Just feel whatever that is, whether it's your children, your life, nature, something that happened today. Just concentrate in your heart what you're grateful for. Breathing from your heart. Tuning in to your heart. Think of things that you're so appreciative for. Maybe add a little bit of a rocking movement. When you're breathing in, come forward. When you're exhaling, come back a little bit. Just like we were rocked when we were little and provided comfort, we're pulling up those memories in our physiology that we're safe and we're comforted. Relax your shoulders. Relax your eyelids. Relax your ears. Breathing in and out of your nose. Feel the gratitude. Feel the love. Just let your heart relax. Okay. Open your eyes. Could you feel your body start to relax? Yeah. Okay, so now let's just do a few rounds of the breath where we are believing that right below the belly button, touch your belly button, and then put 2 fingers below that. That's our solar plexus, and we are going to create a ball of fire right below our belly button. And that fire, it has healing power. It has energy in it. So we're going to breathe in to that spot underneath our belly button, and then we're going to pull up our pelvic floor, and we're going to pull in our belly button to our spine. We're going to pull our shoulders down and our chin in, and we're going to contract that area, and we're going to stoke that healing fire. And then when we let go of it, just let it go up your body, up your throat, out the top of your head, and it'll come back around. Then we're going to pull it in and contract and exhale it out. And we're going to pause just a little bit between the breaths. And I want you to just listen for your heartbeat. Listen to see if you can hear crackling. Listen to see if you can feel your heart rate in your head or anywhere else in your body. Okay? So we're going to start with just taking a few breaths before we concentrate on that ball of fire. And we're going to think about our prana tube or our internal physiology as a cup. So we're going to pull that air, that water all the way to the base of our cup. And then when we let it go, we're going to pour that liquid out. Okay, so we'll do that for a little bit and then we'll go into the contractions. So here we go. Inhale. All the way down to your belly button and exhale. Out your mouth. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Try to get that air as deep into your body as you can. And exhale. Letting go of anxiety. Inhale, pulling in peace and safety and love. And exhale, letting it all go, off letting. Inhale. And exhale. All right, this time we're going to pull it in. Pull up your pelvic floor, belly button into your spine, shoulders down, chin down, and really squeeze that ball of fire right below the belly button. Really pull it in real tight. Squeeze your butt muscles. Squeeze and exhale. Let go of your breath. Try to hear and sense. Here we go. Inhale. Pull up the pelvic floor, belly button in. Press down, chin in. Squint your eyes. Tighten your butt cheeks. And you're building that fire in your belly, that healing fire in your belly. And exhale. Just relax. Let that energy find its way. See if your ears are crackling, if you can feel it behind your eyes, coming out the top of your head. Here we go. Inhale. And pull up. Press down. Squeeze, really just squeeze as hard as you can. Pull that stomach muscle in like you're really contracting. And exhale, let it go. Try to relax the back of your neck. Feel that energy going through your ears, up the back of your eyes, past your forehead, out the top of your head. Relax your shoulders. All right, here we go. Inhale. And pull up as hard as you can. Push down, pull that belly button in. You have a ball of fire right below your belly button, and contract and squeeze, creating fire. Pull it in a little bit harder, squeeze, and exhale. Feel it going up your throat. past your tonsils, up your sinuses, up the back of your eyes, out the top of your head. All right, we're gonna do 2 more, so let's give it all we got. Here we go. Inhale. And shoulders down, chin down, squint your eyes, push down on that ball of fire, pull up, belly button in, squeeze your buttocks hard as you can, and squeeze, and squeeze, and squeeze, and squeeze. One more squeeze, and let go. See if you can feel it going up your ears, up the back of your head, out the top of your head. All right, this is our last one. Let's give it all we got. Here we go. Inhale and pull up. Belly button into your spine. Push down on that ball of fire. Shoulders down. We're creating healing fire in our belly. So squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. One more squeeze as hard as you can. And let go. Just let your shoulders relax. Relax your throat. Relax your tongue. Relax your ears. Relax your eyelids. Relax your eyebrows and your forehead. Relax the top of your head. All right, just put your hands on your heart. Let's breathe in and out of our nose for a couple rounds. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And as you exhale, drop your shoulders. Inhale and exhale. Okay, great job. Anybody have any questions or comments? Could you feel it going up your throat and up your ears? And
My sinuses,
yeah,
here, but I can even feel it in my legs.
yeah,
It wasn't only going up, but it was going down.
yeah, yeah. And you know what's great, as the more you practice it, you can send it anywhere in your body. You know, like it doesn't matter where it is. If you're having a colon problem or gas, or you know your ovary hurts or your big toe hurts, once you become efficient or hone the skill, you can send that energy anywhere.
That's interesting. Yeah, I could feel it. It was like it was hot, like this hot feeling in my legs.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is really good because like Nutzi said, the goal is to get the oxygen as deep into our body as we can. So if you were able to get stuff down into your legs, that's really, really great.
I guess I was getting that oxygen way down.
Yay, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah. And you know, the more you do it, then you'll have like a little electrical twitches, you know, the body will kind of reset as you're doing that. That's why it's good if you are able to do it in the morning or right before you go to bed, to just, you know, lay down for a little bit after and let all that assimilate. Let it, like the pinwheel turning, you know, downloading the software program. It's kind of like that.
I've tried to start doing those more often too.
Yeah, you
And
don't
I can go back and watch this.
Yes, you'll get so Nutzi sends me the recording and I'll send it out to everybody. So you'll always have it.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. So we have 2 more left after this one, right?
Yes, we do. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's fun.
All right, ladies, I'll see you Thursday. I think both of you, I'll see you Thursday night in our healing code session, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, have a great night.
You guys too. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye. I didn't know you were a practitioner for HeartMath. Yeah.
Yeah, I took their they have a lot, they have several different kinds of certifications, and I took probably like a basic one, and then I took a second one, which is a stress and anxiety. Can't remember the exact title, but allows you to use a tool like I can give out a link to people take a questionnaire and then they get a, have you yet done that? Yeah. So yeah. So I use that with these guys, like, you know, when I first start to work with them to teach that, you know, how to regulate their physiology and all of that. So it's good. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, I think that, check if I'm wrong, but I think the solar plexus is between the ribs and the belly button, not below the belly button.
Well, it kind of covers that whole area. I mean, you know, like that's just a rough diagram of where it is, but they can actually be out of alignment. I mean, they can be anywhere. And I found that, yeah, like my heart center was in my armpit and my throat was down here. And so, you know, we can actually move them. And so I like to because people say, oh, I feel like I got kicked in the gut. And that is usually below the belly button when people say that, or I feel sick to my stomach. It's usually below the belly button.
Okay, I've taught them the energy centers, so they know like root center, then sacral is below the belly button where digestion is, and then the solar plexus is the third one, which is up between, you know. So I was hoping it wasn't confusing that they're like, wait, I thought the solar plexus, because that's the name of the third center going up, you know, which is up a little higher. So, but yeah, it can be all over the place for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen those. I'm sure you've seen that Krillian or the, what is his name? And it might be Krillian Photography, where they can actually
See all the colors and yeah.
And see where they are. Like, you know, mine was way out underneath my armpit. My heart center was way out here.
Did you have that done?
Mm-hmm.
How did you do that? Where'd you do that?
It's the BioWell guy.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take a picture of yourself and send it, or did you?
Oh, they do it. They show it to you, and they show you how far your field is emanating.
So you had to go somewhere for them to be.
No, you can do it over the internet.
Oh, cool. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you. So fun. It like motivates me. I love actually. I'm going to do more of what you say you do, which is like a few different kinds of breath work for time. Like, so starting with this and then moving into that. I like that idea. I don't do that much. I usually pick one and I just do the one, but it feels good to sort of move through.
You have a yoga wheel or a ball?
I have a ball.
So one that is, you know, it's a really advanced breath, but I do it quite often. And so you kind of get down in a yoga squat with your back against the ball, and then you breathe in. And as you're breathing in, you go back.
Yeah, you drive yourself up.
So you're almost kind of in a back bend. You hold your breath, and then as you exhale, you come back down. You come back down, and you will get a rush to your brain. You will.
Okay, I'm going to try that. That feels like it would be so good on your spine and opening up like everything. That sounds like it would be good.
Yeah, and it's just a mechanical way to get that energy to your brain. Because, you know, some people aren't as strong as other people of manipulating that cerebral spinal fluid, but that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, awesome. I'm going to try that tomorrow morning.
Okay, let me know how it goes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, so send this to me whenever you get a chance, and then
I'll do it right now.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Have a great night.
Okay, bye.